Good morning. I'm Amy Dalrymple. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm a member of this congregation and a worship associate at the Unitarian Universalist Area Church at First Parish in Sherburne. We bid you welcome on this first Sunday of the new year. Like Janice, we gather with part of us looking backward and part of us looking forward. We gather on the edge of the new year, saddened by our losses, cherishing our joys, aware of our failures, mindful of days gone by. We gather on the cusp of this new year, eager to begin anew, hopeful for what lies ahead, promising to make changes, anticipating tomorrows and tomorrows. We invite you to join in our celebration of life, knowing that life includes good and bad, endings and beginnings. We bid you welcome.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. 2026, can you believe it? There's like a stunned silence. It feels kind of like when all the bad movies, like about science fiction, they said 2026. So we're going to change that narrative, right? Who's excited to be here today? Amazing. We still have our Christmas lights up. We still have our beautiful swooping paper. See that? We have poinsettias, by the way, afterwards. Who would like to be blessed with a poinsettia? If you should like to be blessed by a poinsettia, you can take one as you leave this morning. Good morning. My name is Reverend Nathan Detering. I'm your senior minister, and so privileged to be so. Let's do a couple things. First, we're going to wave to all the folks who are watching from afar on our cameras. Good morning, everybody from home. Happy New Year to you. We have a new way to, if you'd like to ring the bell, to sign up to let our chalice and to bring flowers. And look at the most amazing flowers that Carly Baker brought in honor and celebration of new beginnings. Don't you just feel like it's almost May already because of these flowers? So you can do that, though, with the sign-up genius that's on the email. And so we're going to try this out. This is kind of a test that staff and I are exerting on all of you to see if you read the email. So if you don't fill out the sign-up genius, we know you're not actually reading the email. So let us know. Fill it out. We had 0 folks today, but we can do better next week. I know we can. If you are new this morning, there's a blue card in the pews, and folks can lift those up, fill one of those out, and you can put it in the welcome basket when the offering goes by later on. And I see a couple announcements. Today starts Winterim, activities for faith formation for our young people. So right after Wonderbox time, our young folks are invited to exit the sanctuary with Deb Weiner, our faith formation director. And you can go downstairs. There's a lot of fun activities. Deb will tell more about those during the Wonderbox time. There's another Mythbusters event this week. This is Real Talk about LGBTQ plus identities that's happening in the town of Holliston, where I live. And you saw in the weekly email, but it happens this Wednesday, January 7th, 12:30 to 2 p.m. We had 2 of these here at church, and they were terrific. So if you wanted to know more about that, catch me in the receiving line. At the end of this month of January, there's an Immigration Justice Voices of the Vulnerable Forum. The forum features speakers, music, discussion, friends, food, and lots of time for reflection. It's going to be all day on the Saturday. Registration closes on the 19th. It's been in your email, but we're going to keep reminding us because we all need reminders in the new year. It is time for Sunday Spotlight. If you're new and you don't know what the organ means, the organ is our musical cue to especially pay attention. So Sunday Spotlight is a time that we spotlight one of our Unitarian Universalist values, and we give you an activity that's going to help you practice that value. So today's value is interdependence, and we're going to give you an easy way to share your love this week. This new year, we begin again in love. We're going to encourage one another to embody loving kindness with the Buddhist tradition of meditation. And gauge where people can pick these up, or they were handed one maybe? They were handed one, so if you weren't handed one. And this has got a bunch of really great things about how to center and practice attention toward a loved one, towards a difficult person, if you can think of anybody in your life, all beings, and yourself. So just try this out for this week. It's an easy, simple thing you can do. You can begin again this afternoon. Friends, last but not least, I invite us to say good morning to our neighbors. Reminder that it is flu season, so if you want to use an elbow, do that. Just say good morning to a new friend.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind?
Should old acquaintance be forgot and all lang syne? For all lang syne, my dear, for all lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne. And there's a hand my trusty fear, and he's a hand of thine, and we'll talk a right good willy walk for all lang syne, for all lang syne, my dear, for all lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for all
Friends, please say with me our opening words responsively from Thich Nhat Hanh. Our words are on our programs or also on our screens. They do not publish the good news. The good news is published by us. We have a special edition every moment, and we need to read it. The good news is that you are alive, and the trees still there standing. The good news is that you have wonderful eyes to touch the blue sky. They only print what is wrong, but we can look at our own special editions. We can offer things that are not wrong. Listen, read, bow your head, leave behind the world of sorrow and preoccupation, and get free. Man, I don't get tired of those words at all. Aren't they terrific? We're going to invite us to rise in body or spirit for our opening song. We do this every first Sunday in January of the new year, and it's Ring It In, and Sarah's going to tell us how.
It was Heather Concannon, I think, that brought this song to us. So I love thinking about that, and I love remembering Donna Allen told us to express our joy, and I'll show you what I mean. But so we have, many of you probably remember. If you don't, then listen once and then sing the repeat of it. But it goes, ring it in the new year again. Ring it in the new year. And then, bells are ringing, bells are ringing, bells are ringing, bells are ringing. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Yeah, you can use both hands. I only had one. Alrighty, we're gonna sing it all together, and then we're gonna do it in parts. So we'll start over here, and then this section will come in, and then that section, right? I'm gonna show you what to do. All together, and ring it in the new year. Ring it in the new. Bells are ringing, bells are ringing, bells are ringing, bells are ringing, bells are ringing. Joy. Ring it in the new year. Ring it in. Bells are ringing, ring it in the new year. Ring it in the new year. Ring in the new.
That was fantastic. Please remain standing. My name is Ian Evans. I'm your ministerial intern here at UUAC. And for our chalice lighting today, we have my daughter, Ren. Please join with me in saying the covenant of our church. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant. Dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. You may be seated.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I'd like to invite any children and youth or people who are feeling like a child or youth to come on up and join us here, please. Come on up. Fantastic. Here, come on over here. Let's see if we can gang up over here. All right, fabulous. I am looking for someone who has never opened the Wonder Box before. Well, today is your moment, my friend. Come on up. And what we're going to do is take out these things, and you need to turn around and show them to people. Okay, so there's some food. There's a snack bar. Great. What else is in there? So there's, let's hold it like that. What do you think? Can you see? That's a heart. Okay, what else? Yep, there's another snack bar, because sometimes you need one for your friend. And then, here, some water. Always good when you're traveling. What do you think that's about? Here, let's put them back down for a minute. Thank you for doing that. That's awesome. And would you like to go back and sit for now? Fabulous. Well, I have a story that involves all those things that we saw. So the question is, what does water and a loving heart and food have to do with what we're talking about? We're going to tell a story called All We Need. This is by Kathy Wolf, and I will put it out front with the other kids' books after today so that you can take a look at it. And there will be slides coming up, so you'll be able to follow along. And also, I need your participation because there's a little bit of a riddle in each one of these pieces of poetry. So let's see if you can help. All we need is what's found in the breeze, in the stillness of nothing, in the rustle of trees, when we take a deep breath. What's not seen but is there? All we need is air. That's right, air. Here's the next one. All we need is what falls from above to fill up our glass and our bucket and tub, to drink, to feel cool, to splash when it's hotter. All we need is water. That's right. I hope it's warm water today, actually. It's kind of cold out. All we need may be found in a book, in a welcoming classroom, or a curious look we can try and may fail, but we'll gain in return. All we need is to learn. Something we do here at church, I hope. All we need: roof overhead, walls to surround us, a cover, a bed, a place to feel safe, a place we feel known. All we need is a home. All we need is a belly that's filled to give us the strength to grow and rebuild. Whether it's roasted or simmered or stewed, all that we need is food. Exactly. All we need is a hug and a smile, a shoulder to lean on every once in a while, the comfort of knowing that love never ends. All that we need is our family and friends. And when we have found that we have all of these, when our cup trickles over, when we're well and at ease, when we have all we need, plus a little to spare, the only need left is to share. That's our story for today. And you see why those things were in our wonder box. That helps us remember all these things that we need. So thank you for helping with that story. And now I want to invite all the children and youth to stand up, and we're going to go out and we are going to go downstairs together, and we're going to start our Winterim activities.
Now is our time for drawing closer to ourselves and to each other, for gathering our thoughts for those we love, our thoughts for the world, our thoughts of even thanksgiving and joy in this new year. Our prayer hymn for this month of January is Spirit of Life.
Of God.
With the holidays over, so many people have gathered, so much from the last year and so much going into this new year. We have so many on our minds today. A prayer from Gail for Jordan's health. A prayer, this one is anonymous and just says, for everyone with colds and flus right now, get well soon. A prayer from Reverend Nathan for my step-grandmother, Olive, who died at 96 years old in mid-December. Olive joined us for worship online since 2021. If there is someone else on your heart that you are carrying this morning, someone maybe you have been carrying throughout all the holidays, I invite you to speak their names now. Felix. For all those names, spoken and unspoken, we light a candle. If we look out our windows today, these big windows, not stained glass but clear, are a reminder of our connection with everything outside. We are not insulated in this space, but we are here to be more a part of everything out there. And so this prayer for the world says, for a prayer for our world with Trump still in it. A prayer for the world, for the people of Venezuela, whose government has just been overturned and who experienced the attack last week. We light a candle for the world. A prayer of thanksgiving to Carly for these wonderful flowers. They are a fresh reminder, as Nathan said this morning, that new things can grow. We can carry both joys and sorrows on our hearts, and so we have these prayers for thanksgiving. This is a prayer of thanksgiving from Catherine McHugh to the group of 19 Buddhist monks and their rescue dog, Aloka, walking from Fort Worth, Texas to D.C. to promote world peace. Amazing. This prayer for the world from Catherine Healy that I have to turn over for the length of this Thanksgiving prayer. Our best wishes and congratulations to Benedicta, the young woman from Ghana that the Women's Alliance sponsored from 2012 to 2019, and her high school and university education. She got married last weekend, and she wanted to send a prayer of gratitude to the woman who helped her on her journey. I know that it is cold out there this morning. I know that there is so much bad news, but if you have something that you are thankful for this morning, I invite you to speak it now into this space. Kids. For all those prayers of thanksgiving, spoken and unspoken, we light a candle. Please join me now in a time of prayer. Spirit of life, Spirit of change and renewal, Here we are in 2026. Help us to bring in this new year, ring it in with the change that we want to see in the world. Help us remember that this year does not have to be like the last year. Help us remember that we can remake the world, begin to remake the world again this year and again and again and again. Spirit of love, be with us in this time of cold, to remember to be with each other, to be with those we love. Help us remember that this sense of renewal that the new year brings must also come with a renewal of love, a renewal of relationship, a renewal of connections to each other. For we cannot carry it all. Help us be with each other, stand next to each other through all that is to come, today and tomorrow and in all the months ahead.
Our morning reading is from the poetry of Marge Piercy. This poem is called On the Birthday of the World. On the birthday of the world, I begin to contemplate what I have done and left undone. This year, I want to call myself to task for what I have done and not done for peace. How much have I dared in opposition? How much have I put on the line for freedom, for mine and others? As these freedoms are paired, sliced and diced, where have I spoken out? Who have I tried to move? Here I stand before the gates opening, the fire dazzling my eyes, and as I approach what judges me, I judge myself. Give me weapons of minute destruction. Let my words turn into sparks.
Let my words turn into sparks. What a line. What a line. Friends, every Sunday we are so privileged to receive an offering and give it all the way, 100% of it, and we can do this because of your generosity. I haven't looked lately, but I think that the tally for this year, this last calendar year, is like $35,000 or more. It's just extraordinary. And so we're going to do again, of course, this Sunday, and today to introduce our offering is our own Kathleen. And after Kathleen introduces, you're invited to give either cash in the baskets as they come by, or use the QR code. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kathleen. I'm usually over there playing the piano. Today I'm here to talk about the organizations Maestra and the Rise Theater Group. I currently do a lot of work with the organization Maestra, which works with female-identifying and non-binary theater musicians and artists with the goal of creating parity in the industry and creating opportunities for those who previously haven't been able to get their foot in the door or have access to resources. This organization was started by Georgia Stitt, who composed the song that I played during the meditation today, a wonderful composer who is married to one of my other favorite composers, Jason Robert Brown, who I also frequently play here at church. Maestra recently expanded to create a new group called Rise Theater, a similar group with a similar mission that supports theater musicians and artists from all marginalized groups. And that group was started by Lin-Manuel Miranda, which some people might know. He wrote Hamilton. I am currently the chair of the New England chapter, as well as part of the Education and Mentorship Committee. And Maestra as a whole has meant so much to me over the years. Not only has this organization helped me, but I've been able to help the next generation of musicians coming up behind me. Some of the programming that Maestra and Rise do include their mentorship program, Maestra Moms, which helps to connect and support Maestras who are parents, Student Maestras, which is a program that works within schools to help create opportunity, and Maestra Care, which helps members when they may have fallen on hard times or other such things, and many other similar programs. Right now, Maestra and Rise are doing a large fundraiser. Here's the quick blurb. The Unwritten Measures is a 6-week effort to raise funds in support of women and gender-expansive musicians, as well as other underrepresented artists. As parity is deprioritized and data shows step backwards, we pledge to continue the work of supporting an arts industry that flourishes with diversity and opportunity for all. These are trying times, as we know, with many challenges facing artists, including DEIB being quietly stripped away in a lot of theaters and organizations, theaters and art groups losing funding, the overt politicization of the arts, among other things. This has caused a lot of work by Maestra that has been done in the last few years to be slowly pushed back, which is certainly disheartening, and honestly, for me, a bit devastating. I know we are a community that greatly cares about music and the importance of the arts. If you are able or willing to donate any amount, it would mean the world to me. This means we can continue mentorship, we can continue to expand the programs in the school, support young artists, and continue to fight for equity, inclusion, belonging, and the parity within the artistic community, not to mention any other obstacles that currently face us. Thank you again for your generosity, and I am forever grateful to be a part of this community. Thank you.
There we go. Got a frog in my throat anyway. Excuse me. We'll just come in there. Well, the road rolls out like a welcome mat to a better place than the one we're at. And I ain't got no kind of plan, and I've had all of this down I could stand. And I got friends out on the coast. We can jump in the water and see what floats. We've been saving for a rainy day. Let's beat the storm and be on our way. It don't matter to me. Wherever we are is where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our life, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny. You can be my four-leaf clover. Starting over. This might not be an easy time. There's rivers to cross and hills to climb. Some days we might fall apart, and some nights feel cold and dark. But nobody wins afraid of losing, and the hard roads are the ones worth losing. Someday we'll look back and smile and know it was worth every mile. It don't matter to me. Wherever we are is where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our life, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny. You can be my four-leaf clover. Starting over. Starting over. It don't matter to me. Wherever we are is where I wanna be. And honey, for once in my life, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny. You can be my four-leaf clover. Starting over. Starting over.
Our own Tim Roper deserves so much credit for always being willing to step into whatever song I text him at the last minute. And he's always game, Tim. With such, it's more fun that way. Friends that remind us every Sunday we are together. Here's our world. Beautiful and terrible things will happen. Keep our hearts tender. Keep our eyes soft and our words true. This is what you and I are about. We know there is no answer but to love each other. We bear witness against unnecessary destruction, and there is so much of that. And then we gather here in community to practice being the people that we say we want to be. We cannot do everything, but we can do something, and that something is not nothing. So as Leonard Cohen continues to remind us, so that we may remember, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything, and you can say with me, that is how the light gets in. So it is January, and as long as I've been your minister these last many, many years, I've led us into the new year by reviewing some of the top 10 religious news stories of the previous year. Last year, because I couldn't face the the onslaught of the news again, I switched things up and asked us to think about the religious practices that we need for 2025. Now, I know none of you ever forget any of my sermons, but in case you just needed a reminder, the practices that we were hoping to hold together in this last year that we just said goodbye to are, or were, let your joy be your resistance. Give and get grace. Go slow and steady. Find somewhere to serve. Pilgrimage. Join. Create. Still thyself, be in solidarity, and stagger your breath. How did you do? I hope we did find some ways to practice these things this past year, because 2025 was politically and nationally, and some of us personally, a very tough time. The Boston Globe editorial page on January 1st said, big bold letters, 2025 was dismal. That's a nice thing to read right in the morning, isn't it? And it went on to say, because of the ways that American democracy has been shaken at its foundations and seems upon review to depend almost entirely on the goodwill or not and good intentions or not of people in the government to keep it going. So in the midst of all of that, I always want to keep asking myself, and I want to ask you, how is thy soul? Or in other words, how is your spirit? And then I want to help remind myself and remind you to nurture us, but also needle, because we need to be nurtured and needled, to practice being the people that we say we want to be. So, new this year, I'm breaking this up into 2 Sundays. Why? Because I wanted to get us out before the Patriots kick off today at 4:30. And I was going to do 5 today and 5 next Sunday, but then I looked at my word count, and I was at number 4, and I was like, oh my gosh, Nathan, you can only do 4 today. So next week, you'll hear 6, just plan accordingly. A reminder that when I say the word religion, it is from the Latin root, which means to bind together or bring together that which has been torn apart. Not all the bad things that you think about when you think about religion. That's not what I mean. And religion also means what we do together in public. Spirituality is what we do in private. Religion is what we do in public. If you're here today, and I know you might think that you're spiritual but not religious, you are committing a religious act because it's public, you guys, okay? We need both religion and spirit. We need both kinds of practices. Okay, this is why I go on and on and on and on and on. Are we ready? All right, and I'm going to have you repeat each of these as an autonomic cue to like get you to remember them. So the next year, you'll be like, I remember I did each of those, Nathan. And I'll give you a little scorecard and I check it. Number 10, get in good trouble. Have you ever heard this line before? It comes from civil rights leader in Georgia, U.S. Representative John Lewis, who in 1965, applause for John, he led the first of 3 Selma Montgomery marches across the Edmund Pettus Bridge with MLK. The full quote is this: get in good trouble, get in necessary trouble, and to help redeem the soul of America. Does America's soul need redeeming? You know, it needs something. This week, Senator Raphael Warnock, who serves of course, the senator of Georgia, but is also the senior pastor of the Ebenezer Baptist Church where MLK had been, he reminded us that, listen to this, America's spiritual crisis is as much a spiritual one as it is a political one. If folk, he said, cannot have faith in economic opportunity, then they will put faith in strong people with strong words and even stronger action. I'm going to repeat that because it just like the words had sparks when I heard them. If people cannot have faith in economic opportunity, they will put their faith in strong men, strong women, strong words, and even stronger anger. And then he went on to say, it is why we are caught up in the throes of politics defined by rage and anger and division and fear. It's why we see armed and masked officers at our schools and our churches and why troops patrol American streets. All of those images, he says, are meant to convince us that we are at war with each other. And he says we need another way. I want to channel good trouble because it is too easy for me to be complacent and keep my head down. I'm a white, straight guy who grew up in a good Catholic family, and I was told to always play by the rules, keep my head down, and just be chill. Getting into trouble is not something that I was taught to do or wanted to do at all. And this kind of is still who I am. This notion of getting into good trouble is laden with economic, social, cultural, racial, and gender labels. Are you with me? It's easy for me to stay within the rules because the rules apply to somebody like me. But when they don't, and if they don't for you, trouble is one of the only options that you have. Amen? Now, I cannot answer what getting into good trouble is going to mean for you. Getting into necessary trouble. I love that line, necessary trouble. But I want to invite myself and you to places where we notice a wrong, a place that jars your values. Listen to your gut. A place where you hear yourself saying, you know what, this ain't okay. Each of you have one of those. And then I want you to think about what it means for you not to be complacent. It could be a standout. It could be a hard conversation with a relative. It could be resisting in public, whatever or wherever the status quo tells you to keep quiet. The point is to get into good trouble. Not bad trouble, good trouble. Number 9, make America kind. Ever since this fall, I've been passing out these buttons. And it says, Make America Kind. And we have to thank some folk for this. Are you ready? We got to thank Catherine Healy. Catherine, where are you? Raise your hand. Stand up and raise your hand, please. And also, we have to thank Joan Watts. We're going to wave to her on the camera because she watches from her home in Natick every Sunday. They are my supplier of buttons, and I have a bag behind me. If you already have one, and I offer you another one, take it, because then you're supposed to give it to somebody else. If you don't have one, you tell me, and then I'll go to my suppliers, and they'll get more. Okay? I'm going to be in the receiving line. I still have a little bag left. You know what one way to get into good trouble is? That completely jars the conscience of America? Offer kindness to a stranger. Like, buy coffee for somebody who's behind you at the coffee store, or even more, let the car go ahead of you on the death circle that is Speen Street on over Route 9. And people will be like, "What are you doing?" And then you can just hold up the button in the window. It's a small thing. It's like such a small thing. And that's the point, because small plus small plus small plus small plus small equals something not small at all. You know why? Math. And also etymology. So, etymology alert. Kathleen, what's the key of etymology alert on the piano? Just hit a tune. Hit a chord. Yeah, that's the etymology alert. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that, Kathleen? Yeah, we just learned it. Etymology alert. Kindness comes from the Latin root, which means kin, or family, or community, or people, or relations. To pull the thread a bit more from Reverend Senator Raphael, one of America's soul ailments, he says, is how we see other people as our enemy, right? Preach that. He said, when we've lost faith in our ability to afford a home or pay for medical care, which, by the way, happened 4 days ago for 28 million Americans, and we lose our ability to hope that our kids can have what we have, we become resentful and we get angry and we see each other as our enemies because the pie is ever smaller. Does this feel familiar to you? Kindness is radical and revolutionary, everybody. I am often not very good at it. Everybody's like, "You're so nice at church." But you bring your best self to your workplaces and but at home or whatever, when I'm walking around, I can be, I can be a jerk, totally. Right before Christmas, I'm going to give you a quick story. Right before Christmas, I'm getting my bag to leave here, it was like a Thursday, and I saw one of our repeat customers park his bicycle and begin to walk up the stairs. Repeat customer, always asking me for money, asking the church for money. And I always tell him, I'm only going to help you once a year, because I have other people that ask. And he always pushes the boundaries. He presses my buttons. Do you have anybody like that in your life? And I went into the Foz room, and I started to notice that I was hiding from him. And I'm like, literally, the thought came to me, this is why church makes me better than I otherwise would be. I'm like, man, if everybody saw me right now, they'd be really disappointed in me. He's your minister, he's hiding in the room to avoid somebody that's coming in. So I was like, no, Nate, come back out. Hey, Tony, how's it going? I've talked about Tony before. Tony, how's it going? And I greeted him, and then he asked me for a gift card. He said, hey, do you have any gift cards? And I said, of course I do. I do. And he said, and I gave them to him, and he said, this means so much to me because it means that I can give these to my grandkids, and they finally this year will not see me for something that I don't have. And I was like, dude, okay, kindness, kin, he's in my family. Number 8, self-care. Now, this is an overused phrase, isn't it? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about $40 face creams? We talking about fancy anti-thinning hair shampoo that some people buy, maybe? Are we talking about a weekend sojourn free of anyone asking anything of us? Are we talking about a closed sign on our email? These things sound amazing, don't they? I see you eagerly smiling, finally some words from the pulpit I can get in with. I want you to listen to my good colleague, Reverend Dr. Jackie Lewis of Middle Church in New York City. She had a really rough time this past year. And her friends would go by her apartment and slid notes under her door that said things like, "Jackie, don't forget to eat. Jackie, don't forget to drink water. Jackie, don't forget to go to bed early and put away your phone." And she said, my friend's gesture made me cry, not because I was tired and hungry, but, and listen to this, because it reminded me of how much caring for others is a form of caring for ourselves. She said, in community, we come to understand that a person is a person through other persons. In community, we learn that a person is a person through other people. Caring for ourselves is caring for community. I definitely know this as a person that's in the helping profession. If I don't nurture myself, nurture my spirit, take time away from, noticing that the news is really getting me down, so I don't want to preach about that. I got to find other ways to be enlivened, because you deserve your minister to be enlivened. Yes? Directing compassion to ourselves enables us to direct compassion to other people. We see this from our political leaders. Damaged people do damaging things. Healthy and whole people can help repair the world. Check in with yourself. Do you notice yourself skipping food, sleep, exercise because of the incoming onslaught that begins tomorrow, January 5th? First day of whatever? Do you notice yourself getting all lathered up in negative self-talk? It is so self-defeating. And not only that, think of it this way, if this helps, you're letting other people down too. Ask what your community needs from you and how caring for yourself will enable you to give that gift. Self-care, especially when it's done to increase our capacity to care for others, is not selfish. It is, I'm going to make up a word, otherish. That's what it is. Number 7, can you imagine if I kept going we'd be here till 6 o'clock tonight. Number 7, and last for today. And this is going to be in tension with what I just said. Do inconvenient things. We just got a new dishwasher over the holidays because our old one broke. And can I just say, dishwashers are the most amazing technology ever invented. Amen, says Ian, with 2 sippy cups and dishes. And you know what else is amazing? Washing machines. I hand washed my laundry in the Peace Corps. It sucks. And nothing ever comes out. It doesn't work. These are amazing savers of time. And when they were invented, they were meant to save us time so that we could do more important things with the time that we saved. Do we do that? We just scroll on our phones, don't we? It's okay, no shame. I mean, maybe a little, but no shame. We have learned not just to shop at convenience stores, we've learned to worship at the store of convenience, haven't we? That sounds a little preachy, Nathan. Does it help you to tell you that I'm the worst at this? I love to use the easy button in my life wherever I can. Shopping, hate it. Meetings, Zoom. Shoveling, hire a teenager. A little inch of snow. Let's go get that kid. He'll do it. Smartphones, Luddite alert. Kathleen, what's the tune for Luddite alert? Yeah. There you go. That's the Luddite alert. Smartphones have enabled me and you to languish more than is good for us. This week, Representative Jake Auchincloss, who represents a really interesting slice in Massachusetts, both blue collar and white collar, preached a fire and brimstone sermon where he described social media companies, check this out, you guys, as attention frackers. Ooh. Yeah, those words got some sparks, don't they? Who, he said, have monetized our attention They reward endless scrolling and helped shape a society, get this, that is instant, easy, and alone. That last line, instant, easy, and alone. Ouch. Ouch. But I know what happens when I get off my phone and out of my bubble and get away from my routine. It's like the time expands. The whole day is there. And little shoots of green unfold in my heart, not quite this much of a bloom, but close, maybe. And I meet other people. Do you know what one of the most inconvenient things you can possibly do? You can come here. Some of you can't. I know that. That's why we have the technology. My colleague in Chicago, Peter Marty, wrote about it this way. It was great. He said, worshiping in a faith community is highly inconvenient. You're like, yeah, Nathan. He said, the energy required to get dressed, leave your house, only to find yourself sitting next to people that you didn't choose. I see Bill going, what the heck? Yeah. Hearing readings or scripture that you didn't select, hearing songs that you don't maybe like, but how can you not like Tim or Chris Stapleton? It all adds up, he says, to a pile of inconvenience. But the value of being shaken from personal routine is unmistakable, especially on the day, which is a Sunday like this, when you are asked to quit playing God for 2 hours. Not everybody can be here, but there's a good chance that all of us can befriend inconvenience in your life. If it's hard to do, sometimes hard things are really worth doing. So we are not quite halfway, but this is why I needed to have us pause. And we're going to do a couple more inconvenient things, a few more. We're going to get up and sing. And I know some of you are like, I don't want to sing. That's right, it's inconvenient. But we're going to sing. And then we're going to go down on coffee hour, and we're going to talk to somebody you don't know. That can feel pretty inconvenient and uncomfortable. That's okay. A bunch of you are going to take these poinsettias, and you're going to do it because it's inconvenient, and you probably don't want it in your house because they drop red leaves in the ground. I get it. But it's going to help Gage. And she decorated the heck out of this place all month of December. So we're going to do that, aren't we? And then we're going to do another inconvenient thing, which is next Sunday, you're going to come back and you're going to listen to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes? I love you all. Amen. Happy New Year. Our final hymn is May Nothing Evil Cross Us Door. It's number 1 in our hymnals. Friends, let us go in peace and live simply and gently in that home and ourselves. Let us act justly and speak justly and remember the depth of our own compassion and forget not your power in the days of your powerlessness. Do not desire to be wealthier than your neighbors and do not hold back your hand of generosity. Practice forbearance and speak the truth or speak not and take care of yourselves as a body. For you, each of you, are such a good gift. And crave peace for all people in the world, beginning with yourself. And let us go with that dream of peace alive and living in our heart and in our spirit. Let us say together our call to ministry. We go forth into the world in peace to act with works of love, to affirm each person's dignity, and to cherish it. See you next Sunday.